Hello everyone, welcome back to the shed. Oh look what's turned up on my doorstep today. It's a new refurbished CEP from Bachmann in Jaffa Cake livery. Although that's not really what it's called. I think it's London and South Eastern sector. There you go. Tell no lies. Let's get it out of the box. I hope everyone is doing well and has been okay since the last video went up. I will be the first to point out to you that I do in fact have very red knuckles. That and I have very red knees. The reason for that is I've been cleaning carpets for the past few days and I think that's carpet burn. Okay, immediately you can tell which one has the motor in it due to the weight. In case anyone doesn't know, yes, refurbished. What does refurbished means? It means no guard compartments in the driving ends, guard compartment in one of the trailers, and refurbed windows, interiors, and I think maybe asbestos removal. I don't know if it was late enough along to involve that. I'm sure there is a specific order that these go in. Obviously the driving ends at each end, but so we'll look at 3 of the coaches. We won't look at the, well, I suppose we can look at the extra driving end just for the sake of it's a non-motor version, if you see what I mean. Okay, that's... how do you do that then? I'm sure there's an instructional... Yep. I was going to say, in the box you can probably see just about... which, you know what, I'm going to need these anyway because... because of the connectors, the couplings. The things that don't want to peel off the damn box. There we go. Extra corridor ends with different things, so you got a red and a normal. Right, anyway, in the current blind is route number 90. End is very nicely done. All these cables at the end of the cab. Come on, there we go. Very nicely done. Separately applied by the looks of it. Very nicely detailed. Livery is very crisp. Of course you can see why it's nicknamed Jaffa Cake. Brown, orange, and not quite cakey, I suppose, if you want to put it that way. But yes, very nice. A very striking departure from the normal blue-grey. But if you are modelling blue-grey to NSE era, I recommend you get one of these maybe. The livery fits the era and it adds some variety. I'm not telling you what to do, but it might just be an idea. Oh, it's going to take a while. Today's very windy, as you may or may not be able to hear, which is why I've been enjoying a nice day inside. Well, it's not been nice because I've been cleaning carpets, but hey ho, it had to be done. No complaints. Now the house smells nice and fresh. Right, I'll stick that back there. Ice cube back in the sleeve. Right, just before we move on, instructions, accessories. Da -da 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 -da. So yes, you can fit them style tension locks. So how does this work? 1 to 2 is the dummy Buckeye, which I think is already on there. Oh no, the NEM's already on there, and so is the dummy Buckeye. Have a look. Cool. Hope that showed up. Replacement door, which is number 3. 4 is coupling bar. That's what we're after. Yeah. Lubrication as well. It's got a 21 pin socket which I was surprised by. I was expecting something like Plux 22, but 21 pin I will not shake a stick at. So it looks like the corridor itself is held in with some small clips, and you can easily swap out which set of blinds in the corridor you've got, which is pretty cool. So if you do want to mod it up and customize it, you are more than welcome to do so. Oh, I'm really fretting the formation now. I'm now interested if this says what the formation is. Second radius. Aha! There you go. Tells you the formation. Sweet. I'm going to keep this out now. So, driving motor second opens at each end. So the powered one is up front, then the non-powered one is at the rear. I think that's fairly obvious. I've just noticed, we can have a look at this one while we're at it. This one has the root blind 22. I've just noticed the end of the coach is also brown. It's not like the same grey as the roof or anything, it's the same colour as the main part of the livery. That's interesting, that's also very cool. No further extra blinds for the door ends, so make note of that, everyone. TSO, trailing standard open. TBCK, I'm guessing that's the one with the guard in it, which is that. So let's get the TSO out, and then we can put that alongside the non-powered one. So what is that? Trailing brake composite corridor? Must be. You know what? I've done these two coaches already and I haven't showed any underframe detail. I'd like to add, these are very nice. They look etched, to be honest. Plenty of detail there underneath, because of course, you know, you can't exactly ignore that on this kind of model. So there's plenty of detail on that bit. Unfortunately it's all black, so I'm reliant on the light shining off of it so you can see the amount of stuff they've stuck on the bottom. Trailing standard open. It is in fact an open in there. The seating shows it's an open. Nice smooth roof. I don't know why I did that, but that's satisfying. Of course the livery is very nice as well. Bogies are actually quite nice. They've got a little bit of painted detail there. A little bit of blue. Very cool. I wonder if there's a specific way. Yes, there is a specific way they should go around. No. Yes. No. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and the lav. The lav goes on the end with the DMSO. So like that. Right. Cool. This is all very strange to me, the world of southern units. So far I've only really had 3-car units and such. Tell I lie, I've got a Voyager. Managed to pick one up a few months ago for quite a good price, in my opinion. Right, finally the TBCK. This is going to be the most interesting one because it's got so much going on. So, guards compartment is here, marked first, all along here. Composite, of course, so then you've got the composite corridor, so compartments on this side, corridor on this side. This piping feels quite fine. It's bendy because it's plastic, Handling this is a bit fragile, I feel is the word. Right, so that wants to go on that way round. Cool. So the only one that is the wrong way round in the box, I suppose for the sake of presentation, is the non-powered DMSO. Which is marked DMSO-A. Yep. For sake of, you know which is which if you can't really tell the weight difference. Right, so let's get this back in the box. I'm going to keep the instructions out for the sake of... Actually, I don't even need them out anymore, I don't think. Let me take a final look at them. Just shows you how to put your 21 pin in and how to remove the body. And that's pretty much it. The instruction manual. There's a little thing in there telling you to join Bachmann Collectors Club. So yeah, I've already got the couplings out. Very cool. Box can get done up as this is staying on the layout for a little while, so it can be run in. You can have a little bit of fun with it. There we are. Right. Now comes not necessarily a harder part, but certainly a trial if you haven't done it before. Putting these things together is relatively easy because of these coupling bars. Let's bring one in close. Here we are. You can see just there are some little copper contacts. These just slot right in. So I want to see what side the contacts are on. They're on the top. So the contacts want to face up. These units are nice and easy to put together when you're putting them out for the first time, like getting it out of the box. But putting them away is another story because you've got to undo the couplings. And you know what? I'm standing corrected because it's being stubborn and tough and painful. And my fingers don't want to put up with this because I've been doing stuff with my hands all day. Son of a... Ugh. Come on. Really? Tell you what, pair of pliers and a gentle squeeze might just give enough encouragement for this to work. Oh, that was nearly right. Right, so I'll be the first one to be honest that was very tight to put together, so I stand corrected. You can now see that's in there and the camera is in no way focusing on it. There you go. So then it wants to connect up. Take this one, which is again stiff as all hell. So you know what, I'm going to show you the technique that Andy uses for this kind of situation because I do not have the patience lay down some cloth, lay your model on its side. Simple as that. And then I'm going to use my gentle encouragement device not so gentle encouragement apparently. There we go. What a pain. Now of course this is a 4-car unit, so I'm going to have to do this for all of this. Tell you what, let's make a jump cut. Look everyone, I did it! Now comes, I don't know, not necessarily a hard part, but getting the cloth out from under it. And don't worry, all of these lines are isolated. In fact, the whole layout is currently isolated, so there's no risk that this thing's going to short, blow up, or blow up anything else that might be on the layout. There goes the cloth. Roll it back up. Oh. Okay, now we rail the whole thing. Can't exactly re-rail if it hasn't been on the rails yet. Okay, so that's all together. Right, so let's take the camera off the tripod and get a close-up of the whole unit. So now that it's all finally together, it's quite impressive. And the brown ends on the end of the coaches, where they join in the middle of the unit, don't look out of place now. It all blends quite seamlessly. Livery application is very nice. You've got nice little double arrow logos at the end as well, on the end of the DMSOs. Printing is nice and crisp, no issues with any smudging. So there's some kind of, I'm not sure if it's because of the yellow bands there, but it's some kind of ride height thing going on there. No, I'm paranoid. My camera work is also horribly wonky. Shoe beams look really nice as well. I'm just trying to get, yeah, there you go, on the other one as well. All looks very nice. So let's give this a test around the layout. Now then, those of you that have been paying attention will notice that the CEP is now on a different siding. The very eagle-eyed amongst you will notice that the driving motor second opens have now swapped ends. After a short little shunt move, I realised they were in the wrong formation, which is why the middle coaches weren't lighting up in one direction. So hopefully that is now rectified. I can now confirm to you that getting this together and taking it apart is a pain in the arse. There are better ways of doing this. Hornby have shown that with their own 5-bell. It's a shame that Bachmann haven't come up with either a similar or just as easy to use system. I know that could drive the cost up because of course using these is nice and cheap, but it is such a pain to get together and take apart. Anyway, shall we test some point work? Make sure that goes in the correct direction. So some power and the double slip first. Perfectly fine, and the curved point, perfectly fine. So, running perfectly fine and smoothly, however there is definitely some motor noise going on. Looks great going around the layout, sure, but I wonder if that might be a symptom of cold weather. Handling the double slips fine. Powered end is this end, so you can actually properly hear it. Although it is quietening a little bit. Can't even get the words out. The lighting's plenty and bright. I suppose in that end, sure, but the other coaches maybe could be a little better. So, as you can probably tell, since this is now sitting in the station, I've now run this over the triple point, and it's perfectly fine. One other issue, apart from the motor noise, which hopefully will be ironed out by some running in. Although I will note that something I'm going to show later in this video is also having the same sort of motor noise that it didn't have before, so I'm wondering if it maybe the cold weather is having an effect on this. The other issue I've had is this horn on this cab right here. It fell off. The tiniest dab of glue and a lot of finicky trying to get it in the hole, and it's right as rain. Maybe some quality control, although to be honest that may have been my own fault in the, I wouldn't necessarily call it rough handling, but trying to put this unit together when it was on its side. I might have done it. So for the benefit of the doubt, I'm going to say it's not Bachmann's fault, that's probably my own. So the only issue I have with this entire model at this point in time is the motor noise. But that's possibly a symptom of the cold weather, or it needs running in. So let's get some shots of this going around the layout, and I will give my final verdict at the end of the video once it has been run in. So let's give it some power. So that is Bachmann's refurbished 4 CEP in London and South East sector, also known as Jaffa Cake livery. I'm just going to call it Jaffa Cake livery from here on out. The model's fantastic. As usual with their CEPs, it's really good. It's good that they've bothered to do the refurbished state, because of course the CEP they'd already done told the first half of their story. This refurbished version tells the second half. Of course, hopefully we get even more, I suppose, modern liveries, if you want to put it that way, because they also served under Connex and I think Southwest Trains. So it'd be great to see those liveries turn up on this model. I don't necessarily think I would buy one, but it would be great for them to do that, and then, well, obviously that's going to appeal to someone, just like this livery has appealed to me. This appealed to me because we already have something in Jaffa Cake livery Bachmann's MLV. So I wanted to put this on the layout for two reasons. One, it looks great to run them both together. Two, comparing the livery, because of course this is another Bachmann product. From this angle I can already tell the brown's different. The orange stripe on the forcep is brighter. It's a more, I suppose, fluorescent, more saturated orange. The sort of grey at the bottom looks a bit more beige on the MLV. So there is some variation between Bachmann's own application of this livery. I don't know if that's the case in real life, of course. I've never seen this livery in person. The only other units that ever wore this livery were 4SIGs and the Clacton Class 309 units. So it's quite niche. However, of course, this was a weird transitional one. So it can add that variety to a blue-grey or a Network Southeast layout that you're looking for. Not necessarily not necessarily being the same thing, but it fits the era perfectly well. And it's a nice bit of standout. It's different. I think that's probably the reason it appealed to me so much, because it is different. Would I recommend you get one of these units for the current price? No! I bought this unit because it was an instant buy for me. I already knew I liked the livery, and I had suggested it previously in Bachmann Collectors Club little room. I wrote it down as a suggestion on a piece of paper and submitted it. So yeah, it was pretty much an instant buy for me. As soon as these were announced, I put down a pre-order for myself at Kerno Model Rail Centre. This, of course, being a non-sound fitted model, is I think about £470. Do not pay that price. If you have, good for you. You must be just like me. You like your liveries, you like your specific things. You knew you wanted this, you bought it. You had the money, you bought it. If you're on the fence about this, or you're really going, that is too much for me, wait a while. These are going to be the exact same situation as the BEPs, where the price is just going to come down. Because no one's going to be able to move these things because they're so damn pricey. I imagine this would be a really good unit to have for about £300 to £350. Then it would make it less than £100 per coach. The way I've bought it, it almost works out about £110, £120 per coach. I suppose I should talk about the motor noise. After some running in, and I'm sure it probably got picked up on the video as well, as I was doing the little bits of it running around the layout, the motor noise has definitely quietened down. I'd say it's a symptom of just being, I think it's only one powered bogie for a whole 4-coach train, so it's a symptom of the type of motor or setup they've got. Run it in for a half hour in each direction, medium speed at least, and the motor noise does definitely quieten down. I'm not going to say the horn was Bachmann's fault. I'm going to say it's my own fault. Careless handling. I should have just been more careful with it, simple as. Detail on it is really nice. I'm glad they've modelled the interiors accurately. I suppose there would be, endless amount of outrage if it wasn't. So, just go over some points again. Detail's great. Livery application looks about right. I think they've nailed it a bit more in terms of the brown on the forcep. In terms of the orange, I think the one on the MLV looks a bit better because it's not as saturated, and the grey looks better on the forcep. So overall the livery is better on the forcep. The end corridor is really nicely done with that root blind. I really like that, and the way they've done it so you can just swap out the ends and that corridor is just held in with some clips. That's a really good way of doing it. Well done, Bachmann. And again, just to reiterate, wait until the price on this kind of thing comes down for your specific livery, and if you can get it for a lower price, definitely do. I imagine this time next year there'll still be some loitering around at model rail shows like Worley, where people like the Model Centre, TMC, the price is just going to calm down because they still had BEPs in stock this year and they were like 100, 150 quid less than the RRP. Of course no one sells at RRP, but say they were selling it for 50 below RRP, they've now gone 100 quid further off the price, so it's definitely going to be worth waiting a little while for the price on these units to come down. If this fits your era, get one. The liveries, I really like the livery. It's something different, it's BR, and we're not massive fans of Network Southeast. I don't think we actually have anything in Network Southeast livery. So this is a really nice way of blending up our blue-grey stuff, especially considering we've got blue-grey third rail units as well. So this is a nice way of just stepping away from the normal and not necessarily mundane, but add some variety to the layout. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions about this model, do leave a comment. I'll hopefully find the time to answer. Let's think about what would be coming next in terms of pre-orders. Now, I've been saying it for months on end. Hopefully, at the end of this month, early January, I will review Kerno Model Rail Centre's GWR steam rail motor, because I know they are now on the boat on the way from China. They should arrive this month. I've got a sound fitted version, so it'll take a little longer for them to get it out the door in the post to me. Hopefully early January. So until the next time we're in the shed, goodbye.